Good morning and welcome to Purpose Driven Finances, where our focus is helping you use your finances to achieve the purpose and plan for your life. And now here's the host of Purpose Driven Finances, Alan Molina with Serwus Capital Management.
Hey, good morning. This is Alan Molina, your host, Purpose Driven Finances, President of Serwus Capital Management. How are you doing this glorious day? You know what? We're in a drought. It's hot. It's getting dry. Let's just rejoice because, you know, it could be worse. We could be in the Mojave Desert and it'd be really dry. But you know what? You're sitting inside, hopefully with some coffee, something to drink. I'm listening to the show because, you know, I tape this early. And the joy of it, I get my wife to listen to it, and she's either laughing at me or kicking me under the table. Why'd you say that, Alan? What in the world? What did you mean by that? But Anthony, I want to let you know, you've pitched in for this series for 3 weeks.
Thanks for having me.
And she has said you have done a great job. And she said that I should have you on more often.
She gives me too much credit than I deserve.
And she says you and I work well together. You know,
I'd like to think that part's true.
It is. You're a great guy.
Thank you. You as well.
And folks, you know, Duluth clothing, you need to sponsor me.
Yeah.
And the reason being is I was drinking my drink and I spilled it all over my shirt and my pants. And I wiped it off my pants. You can't even see. It's amazing. Just a glorious thing. So, folks, men, go get some Duluth pants. They're a little expensive, but they don't show spills.
Yeah.
Appreciate you laughing. That's good.
Dude, if we can't laugh at ourselves, who can we laugh at?
Right, you're probably saying, how far are you going to go, bro?
There was a sentence that you left out that you and I had talked about, so I was curious, how far we were going with that.
You know, this is, I got friends in high places, so I got friends in low places.
Don't we all?
Yeah, exactly. So let's just keep it going. So, folks, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the market, interest rates, economy. And on top of that, we're going to continue talking about creating wealth. And realistically, the areas, really what we're focusing on is legacy and generational wealth. What does it mean to pass it on? And, Anthony and I, we have a few stories about Lynchburg social media. We're not going to get into the families that are generally attacked on a regular basis, which is baseless and ridiculous. But we're going to talk about some pitfalls to avoid, but also some things that you can do to make sure your wealth lasts, because realistically, that's what it's really all about. So, Anthony, we got questions, and I didn't really like the questions that Google prepared for us. But if you have any, if you want to deal with them, whatever you want to do.
Well, let's start with one before we get to the Google questions. You and I last week talked about SpaceX stock,
right,
and what that looked like. And at the time of recording last week, I think you've got the exact number.
Right.
It was a bit higher than it is.
It was 180.
Right. And I think right now it's about at 150, 152.
Right.
What does that mean for the stock as a whole?
Right.
But then also, what does that mean for the people who are currently holding that stock?
Right. Well, the people who bought it at 150, they've made $2. What a glorious thing, you know. But the people who bought it at 190, they're crying them a river, and they have a great hope. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this, my friend, but hope is not a risk management process.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a process and a plan, because let's get personal. You collect anything?
Sure.
That you're willing to share?
Well, I was just trying to think if there was stuff that I would do, but I'll say I do. I know. I like bobbleheads.
I know one thing you collect.
What?
Memories going to all baseball parks.
That too.
And
I like hats.
Yeah, you're always wearing a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And I dare to say that you're going to take those tickets and save them.
Yeah.
You know, because they represent a memory.
Yeah.
They may or may not be worth something down the road, but you collect those because it represents a memory. And your age bracket, it's all about creating the experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I collect daguerreotypes, ambrotypes, opalotypes, antique cameras. You probably don't even know what those mean.
I didn't until you said antique cameras.
Right, exactly. Antique photography, and what's exciting, I'm really excited, is probably in the next month, I'm going to start doing photography like it was done in 1862.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's so, I'm excited about that. Besides that, I go on rabbit trails. That being said, here's the thing about SpaceX. Because there's certain parts of the market I don't care about. It doesn't help me make money for clients. Sad to say, I pray for the family, but I heard Alan Greenspan passed away this week, or maybe even Thursday. I don't know. So pray for his family because his family is grieving. And there's some pundits out there who are jerks saying some nasty things, and there's some people who loved him saying some nice things. I didn't know because it doesn't affect me of how to help my clients achieve the purpose and plan for their life.
Right.
Of not having a portfolio that goes down.
Yeah.
Because right now the markets are looking kind of sketch. So I got people that would call me and say, hey, what about SpaceX? You asked me about it. You mentioned last week, because I don't listen to the news on CNBC or Fox or wherever, that at one point SpaceX was valued more than Amazon.
Yes.
And that's like utterly ridiculous. And the reason I say that is because SpaceX creates a negative revenue. Amazon creates tremendous revenue.
Yeah, that is kind of their thing.
Right. And when was the last time, one of us actually went out and bought a robot or took advantage of a flight, or I don't know who owns the Boring Company, but those are things that are big projects that create a lot of excitement and hope, but they don't do a whole lot for you and I.
Yeah.
I mean, Starlink, I think that's in SpaceX. I don't even know.
Right.
And you're like, Alan, you're a financial advisor. Right. I'm not a stock jockey. My goal was to pick the best investments and to protect the portfolio. And so SpaceX, it's down 15%. Here's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting in the next 6 months that it will probably be $125 to $100. I know it's a wide range. It may spike down, but there's going to be some lockout periods where people can actually sell stock of SpaceX. And in those days, volume is going to go up, price is going to go down. And we're going into an area in July where inflation is going down and the economy is going down. And it's going to get ugly. And so, folks, before we go to another segment, I have a question. Do you have a process for your portfolio when it goes down? How do you protect your portfolio? What's the process that's used? You have a process to buy, but do you have a process to protect? And what about making money in the downturn? When the market goes down, can you make money? Does your portfolio have the opportunity? Because everybody wants opportunity. There's no guarantees in life. We want an opportunity. Does your portfolio have an opportunity to make money if the market starts going down? Next question.
We have a new Fed Reserve chairman. His name is Kevin Warsh. And he talked about they just had a meeting in June, and he talked about dropping what is called forward guidance. First off, for people who don't know what forward guidance is, like me, what is that, and then why get rid of it?
Right. What's amazing is, I'm serious, Google did all these. People must really be talking about all this. First of all, forward guidance, the Fed, when it came under, I think it was Bernanke. Bernanke started doing a conversation that was more plain speak and really communicated what the Fed was doing. Alan Greenspan would speak in word salads, and people would be like, what did he just say? Bernanke really started getting very clear, very open. And I think under Powell, they started doing press conferences. Because it used to be they put out their little statement, market did what it does. Now what ends up happening is they do the release at 2. At 2:30, they have an hour press conference, and people just ask the chairman questions about policy and unemployment and interest rates, things such as that. And what Chairman Warsh has said, that is such a nice country name. Warsh.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I was born in Allegheny County, so I'm a ridge runner. So Warsh is just natural to me.
Well, I grew up in very southern Virginia and basically North Carolina at times. So the amount of times that I've heard like I gotta wash the dishes or doing something on a wash board, like every time I hear that and I hear this guy's name, it's the first thing I think.
Exactly.
About.
Yeah. So country. So I like that. So Chairman Warsh, what it means by eliminating forward guidance is they have a dot plot where all of them, and I think it's 18 if I'm correct. It's somewhere in that range. And what ended up happening is they all anonymously put on where they think the interest rates are going. Well, this time, if it's 18, it was 17 out of 18. If it's 19, it's 18 out of 19. One person did not put their dot plot on there. And he basically came out and said, you know what? We are going to start limiting the amount of communication. And what we're going to do is we probably won't have a press conference unless something special is going on. Another thing that happened is Trump did not blast him. Because you would think if Trump is like, listen, bro, I told you to lower interest rates. And he came out and he was a little hawkish. And what I mean by hawkish is he implied that rates were going to go up. But what's interesting is if you look at the long-term bond, and I should have gotten you to look at it, but last week I told you to look at long-term bonds. And one of the ones that we have bought is ZROZ. And if you look at it, it has performed rather nicely since I told you to buy it. No, I told you the secret that we're buying it for our clients, just as a teaser. And it's doing nicely. And what I expect is we're going into an economic slowdown because July is going to be a quad 4. Then we're going into a quad 3. And it's not going to be a pretty sight. Even if it's a time decay, which I don't expect it to be, I think what's going to end up happening is right now there is the big players are starting to reduce their risk in their portfolios. And so they're having days where the market jumps up a whole lot, but they're liquidating some of their portfolios in preparation for tough times. And I'm not talking about 2008 and 9. I'm not talking about 2020. But a healthy pullback would be beneficial. And it would give us an opportunity to make money as the market goes down, which I like to do. So, folks, we're going to go to a 30-second break. Give me a call at 434-316-0246. And I got a question. Do you have a process and a plan? When the market starts going down, what are you going to do? Give me a call.
Hey, this is Jonathan Falwell, pastor of Thomas Road Baptist Church, and we want to invite you to come out to be a part of all that God is doing at Thomas Road. Whether it's through our groups program, whether it's through worship on Sunday mornings, our sports programs, camp programs, all of the different things that we have each and every week, we have something for you. And so I want to encourage you, go to our website at trbc.org to check out all the opportunities where you can connect and become part of a church that loves God and that loves people. Join us today.
And now, back to Purpose Driven Finances. Here's Alan Molina with Serwus Capital Management.
Hey, good morning again. Alan Molina, your host, Purpose Driven Finances, President of Serwus Capital Management. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a blessed weekend and enjoying the family. Hey, we're talking about legacy and generational wealth. And realistically, you may be 30, you may be 20s, 40s, 50s, whatever. One thing that I find with people is they want to eventually pass on their wealth to their kids and grandkids. Obviously, first they want to do it to their spouse, pass on the wealth there, but it make an impact. And then sometimes they're like, you know what, my kids are fine, great education. I want to pass it on to charity. I want to impact the future. So, but one thing that happens, and part of the reason for this 3-part series is some of the big some of the big, what do you call it now, Anthony? Forums, Facebook pages. Internet here in Lynchburg that's on Facebook.
Oh, like the Living in Lynchburg page. Kind of like a group almost.
A group.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is that there's people that get on there and complain about people who have money.
Oh, that's definitely the page I said.
And I'm like, the thing that happens is if you're in the person who has money, whatever money is, what I have found is if you have $100 in the bank, you don't really have any money until you have $1,000. If you have $1,000 in the bank, you really don't have any money. I don't have that much money until I have $5,000. Then you get up to millionaires. You got $1 million in your retirement. It's not very much. I'm really waiting for that $2.5 million. If you have $2 million in there, $2.5 million, you're like, you know what? I don't have that much. Once I get to $7 million, I'll be doing all right. And it
never stops.
It never.
It's this constant cycle of wanting and needing more.
Right, and sometimes it's not bad. It's not bad. If you're lusting and it creates your significance, that's when it gets negative.
Yeah.
But we'll let Tim Clinton and Pastor Falwell deal with that because that's a matter of the heart.
Yeah.
But what bothers me about the local sites is the belly aching. But if you were in their position, would you appreciate someone complaining about how you created your wealth? Now, if you're a drug dealer, it's okay to complain about them.
There's a little bit of a moral issue
or
there.
A bank robber.
Yeah.
We got issues there.
Yeah.
But the issue is if somebody made it their money, whether they inherited it or they grew their money through hard work. And making money is hard work.
Yeah.
Realistically, you know why people go to McDonald's and work for them and then try to go somewhere else? Because they want to get paid more for their hard work. I'm throwing no shade to people at McDonald's. It's hard. I used to work at Long John Silver's. I used to be a bag boy at Harris Teeter. And at Kroger. It's hard work. And the automatic assumption that anyone who is financially successful simply had it easy, got lucky, or they had unearned privilege. If you talk to anybody who made money, a significant amount of money, whatever that means to you, it's hard stinking work, man. It's not easy. Imagine, many years ago when WLNI, someone had to say, someone's going to listen to radio. And it was hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Excuse me. But true lasting wealth is built by individuals who step directly into the cold wind of risk. Isn't that a great statement? And they broke away from standard consumer habits, and they established a specific teaching or family culture to either succeed or fail for generations. Because you know what, Anthony, I've shared a little bit about my story, but I'm the first that I know of in my entire generations, not my generations, my family. Going back, way back, they got a 4-year degree. I now have 3 young men. 2 have their bachelor's, 2 are getting their master's, and 1 is getting his bachelor's. And I'm not trying to pump my tires.
No.
What I'm saying is if you make a generational decision to change the trajectory of your family, it's hard work. It's hard to go from minimum wage to making $40 an hour.
Yeah.
It's hard. And that being said, we'll get into some other things. You got any questions or comments?
Well, the thing I find interesting is this conversation around people complaining about the nepotism. And I see this, I know, in things locally, but also I see it a lot on, just bigger platforms. I see it on TikTok all the time. There's a singer, her name is Gracie Abrams. She's the daughter of J.J. Abrams, the man who has made multi-billion-dollar making movies. And she is a singer who has been able to get big because her dad is J.J. Abrams, and they've been able to provide her opportunities in studios and things like that, and she's gotten popular. The thing that I don't like is that when you go and look at the comment sections in her videos, it's like, oh, well, she's only like this because her dad is J.J. Abrams and she's a Nepo baby and everything like that. Why is it that the culture now is so focused on the fact that someone came from money and not the fact that, like, yeah, maybe her money got her here, but it's ultimately her talent that has gotten her to the point that she is fame-wise? Why is there that disconnect?
That's a great question, Anthony. And, hey, Jonathan, can you call in? Tim Clinton, call in, brother. I think realistically, it's a condition of the heart that people want quick, because they look at Instagram, they look at TikTok, they look at Twitter, or X really isn't that way, and they say, I have more talent, I should have that. Or they're jealous, or they're not willing to work hard.
Yeah.
I try not to share anything on the radio that when I've met with people that can be identified. But there's been many people I have met with that they want something, whatever that something is. I'm not going to be specific because then it'll divulge too much. Some people get it because they're willing to work hard and do what it takes. Others, bad words just came to my mind. They moan and complain. They moan and complain and bellyache, and they get people around them that inspire them to bellyache and moan, and they don't achieve anything.
Yeah.
And, I could go on and on and on. In Lynchburg, there are women, there's families that they've been in prostitution for 2 and 3 generations. And that's horrible. That's sad.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a family that breaks that generational way of life. There's people who, their entire family has lived on minimum wage all their life. Will do the hard work and go to school.
Yeah. You
say, well, I can't. You know what you can do? You have a smartphone. ChatGPT is free. And you can ask ChatGPT to design a course to get you to where you can learn stuff. And I have been told of people who, I have a friend who he worked as an what do you call it? A intern, free for 6 months. He's now making $40 an hour. He's now leading. This is a guy who is teaching himself mechanical engineering.
Wow.
Through AI.
Yeah.
And he is designing things in the ballistic industry as a leader of this. And he's teaching himself this. So if you want it, the great thing about America is, dude, you can go after it. Or dudette, you can go after it.
We are the land of opportunity.
I've been to Africa. Out in the bush, there isn't the opportunity for you to learn mechanical engineering. Does it mean you're going to be an expert in it? I don't know. But you definitely have an opportunity.
Yeah.
So let's check this. Anthony, my middle son, I know you do. I know you love your mom.
I do.
And you've done special things for her.
I do my best.
Exactly. We know you do a great job. So our middle son, I said but I was half, half responsibility. That being said, my middle son Nathan, he got Pam and I basically a weekend trip. We paid for the hotel, but he paid for the money to go to Biltmore. You ever been there?
Beautiful place.
Have you ever been there?
No, but I've driven past it several times.
You need to go. It's a nice romantic. It's pretty cool. So we went there, and what was amazing is there was a basketball commentator who just got married. He rented out the entire Biltmore.
Oh, that's cool.
For his wedding.
He's getting the big bucks.
Yeah. And everybody I talked to, they were like, it was like $1.5 million, $2 million. Just a little bit of.
It's like Taylor Swift renting out MSG.
Right.
For her wedding.
What the heck?
Yeah, why not? It's just a couple million.
We think it's huge, but it's like.
It's a drop in the bucket for them.
Right. It's like me taking $1 out of my pocket.
Yeah.
And, come on. It's nothing much. But what happened was I went through Biltmore, And as I learned for it, I turned it into this radio show and more interesting information. So my business paid for it. And you say, well, what do you mean? Cornelius Vanderbilt. I did not realize this. He died in 1877, and he left about $100 million. And what was amazing is that was more money than the U.S. Treasury had at the time. That's a boatload of money, man.
That's wild that a person can die with more money than the government has stored away.
Right, exactly. That's a boatload of money.
Yeah.
Yes. But check this out. I learned this down there, and I was astounded. Within 4 generations, that's daddy died, son, grandson, great-grandson, great-great-great-grandson, 4 generations, the entire fortune was gone.
That's the blunder of all blunders.
I mean, and when the family held a reunion less than a century later, there wasn't a single millionaire left from his direct descendants.
How does that happen?
Well, dude, that's I don't know if you read the notes, but that's what we're talking about. Is why does that happen, and why do certain families actually they breed success, and then certain families they breed not success?
Right.
You know, so here's what happened. Is what I learned at Biltmore is the families were focused on 2 things: socially, how they were viewed, and parties.
Yeah.
So I got a question. And I got a lot of clients who aren't this way, but I know there's some listeners. Are you more focused on what you are viewed or how you are viewed by society and the entertaining you do? Or are you interested in leaving a legacy that outlasts you? Now, that's our next point. You ever heard of Andrew Carnegie?
Yes.
Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah.
You will probably go by the school when you go to PNC Park. You ever been to PNC Park?
I have been.
Isn't that a beautiful
ballpark?
Oh, my word.
I could talk about it for hours.
Yeah, no kidding. I took my son up there, my youngest son, and we sat behind the dugout. Dude, they were rolling balls to us like I was astounded. It was awesome. I could tell you more stories, but I'm not. Pam was like, thank you. But Andrew Carnegie, he built an astronomical fortune, but he operated under a complete different philosophy. He famously wrote that leaving massive unearned wealth to children who haven't been prepared for is a curse rather than a blessing. Now, I'm going to say, Andrew, I'm willing to sign up. Can you test that on me, bro?
Yeah, right. Same.
I'm willing to sign up.
I'll take a couple million.
Right. Test it. Let's test it. Let's see if I got the moxie.
Yeah.
And Carnegie, what he did is he focused intensely on stewardship. He deployed his wealth structurally into libraries, universities, public trust, designed to foster capability and self-reliance. The thing that I can't stand about parts of our American culture, I love people. I don't care what spectrum you are. And I'm not talking about spectrum of autism or other spectrums. I'm talking about the spectrum of people from left to right, the crazies left or right, or you're in the center. I love people. But the biggest thing is we as Americans need to get to a point where we're relying on self and we do the best we possibly can. So folks, there's so much we got to cover, and it's only 33 seconds left. The biggest thing is you need check out Andrew Carnegie and design a legacy to help you achieve the purpose and plan for your life, but also your family's life. Give me a call at 434-316-0246 or go to my website, servuscm.com. Just to let you know, a little secret. Within the next week, there's going to be a little survey that you can take to see if you're a good fit to be my client, to be someone that can be helped when the market goes down. Give me a call. Have a great weekend.
Returns for illustrative purpose. This is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or use a platform. Only will a suggestion occur after a meeting to determine goals, risk tolerance, and time horizons. Investments involve risks and no guarantee of future results.